It is my contention that the throwing axes are one of the worst weapons in the game and should never ever be used by any serious player wanting to play Slayer. And here's why. Throwing axes, while they might do some, pretty nice looking single target damage, actually take away from Slayer's ability to do overall damage because it hinders and holds back his melee capabilities. Since the throwing axes are pretty much a single target killing weapon, it makes them not even usable for hordes. So Slayer still has to melee hordes. He can he can maybe hit monsters from a distance. He can maybe take out an elite if he gets a headshot, because the throwing axes really don't do all that much crazy damage if you don't get a headshot. Body shots is like minuscule damage on a monster, on an elite. I mean, if you don't headshot a gas rat, you're not going to kill it. Watch this. 1, 2, that's 2 body shots. Guys, you could literally melee that thing to death. You don't need the range. You don't need it. Furthermore, when we're talking about the talents, if you're going to use the throwing axes, you're pigeonholed and you have to use the talent of hack and slash, which gives you 5% more crit chance. That means you're either lacking and missing out on 1,000 cuts, which gives you bonus attack speed, or you're missing out on Skull Splitter, which gives you 15% more power, which is an excellent talent. I don't know why anyone would ever choose junky ass throwing axes over Skull Splitter. That's just me. Maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm the crazy one. But the throwing axes stink. Guys, they stink. I'm sorry. They do. Slayer is a melee, quote unquote, melee only class for a reason. And that's because he gets nice, passive, stacking damage buffs. Combine that with Skull Splitter, and he's one of the highest DPS classes in the game. Slayer doesn't need a range weapon because he literally is the range weapon, guys. He has a giant leap. He can leap at things and melee them. Or he can stand from a distance and throw his throwing axes, which are, number 1, impossible to aim, by the way. Number 2, take forever to reload, because you have to stick your hand up in the air and wait for all 3 of them to come back. It takes like 5 seconds. It takes a long time. They're not the most practical weapon. I get it, they're kind of a niche thing. They wanted to do something a little different with Slayer, but if you're going to make a melee-only class, I don't understand giving him a range weapon. What if they did this for Grail Knight? What if they gave Grail Knight like a spear he could just chuck or something? But it was like only 2 of them, And it took like forever. He raised his hand up and they fly back into his hand, but it takes like 6 seconds. What's the practicality of that? What's the point? I'm just going to take the shield because I want the defense. I don't want, I don't need a spear. It doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone ever take that? I don't get it. I don't like the throwing axes. I never have. I've always found them. It's like there's warning signs when you see certain characters in the game. And one of them is the throwing axe slayer. Every single throwing axe slayer that I've ran into, if they haven't been crap awful, have literally done like minuscule damage. Because when you have the throwing axes out, that's time that you're not spending meleeing a horde or an elite or whatever, getting big damage stacks. And I understand damage isn't everything, but on Slayer, he kind of is, because that's what he does. He's supposed to be like just a reckless, dying in battle kind of big damage guy. And if he's throwing axes from a distance, is he no better than an elf with their bow and arrow? I think he might even be worse because it's less effective. It's harder to get headshots. It's harder to do things. I understand it has like armor piercing and all that, and that's nice. But at least on Slayer, I don't think the throwing axes are worth using. I could see it on Ranger Veteran, because at least, when he's out of ammo, he gets that 25% more power, which is kind of nice, so it works. Slayer doesn't really have anything that makes the throwing axe work. There's nothing really appealing about it. There's also the problem of the huge amounts of friendly fire that these things do. Oh my god. If that's not enough to hate them, I don't know what is. If you hit your teammate with a throwing axe, you'll do like 20, 30 damage. That's insane for one hit. It's insane, guys. That's so much. And if you have a reckless slayer who just wants his 1,000 kills with the thing, he's gonna have no problem hitting you in the back 5 to 10 times. I've had it happen. It sucks. It's no good. It's no bueno. So basically, throwing axes, I kind of want to hear you guys' thoughts on them. Do you like them? Are there people out there that actually use them seriously? I don't know how you could. And be like good with them. I don't know. Maybe you can. Let me know, because I wanna hear what you guys have to say about this. Because I can't use the damn things. I suck with them. I hate them. It's no good. Let me know.